Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting to my left.
Annoyed man. God.
Mississippi Annoyed Man, Logan Creed. If they ever said booking wrestling's easy, they lied.
Damn sure lied. I ain't never named off over 200 people and got turned down on every one of them.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when there's 414 promotions running the same day within a mile of each other. So,
It's a lot.
yeah. But we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling. We're going to probably complain a lot and and see what else happens. We both did catch MLW War Chamber, not War Games.
Whatever it was.
War Chambers, and really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was just the two matches. It was a squash match with Lee O'Brien and the guy that Lee O'Brien didn't care what his name was.
Hell, Tony Schiavone didn't give a damn. That guy like, what's his name challenge? Like, does it even really matter?
Who cares?
He literally said, does it even really matter? I'm like,
And he got destroyed by Lee O'Brien, and his pay was to get beat up by La Parka.
clearly.
So two whippings for him.
And then another referee chair shot with the head. So,
Yep. So
I love it. Unless it's AEW, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Y'all beat this son of a bitch's brains out. But it was AEW.
Well, it only matters if we make you believe that
but
it
and you admit
matters.
the chair was fake
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
rigged.
Yeah.
So, and then everybody's feelings got hurt.
Right. Yeah. So.
So I don't give a damn about the fat referee or the fat flippy wrestler.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not over.
My bad.
Yeah.
But I
So-
will say this: if you watch the referee when he took the chair shot, he did do this.
Well, because he's not stupid.
Yeah, it's called
So-
training.
But yeah, so we got the chair shot. La Parka then propped his feet up on him, which was pretty funny. So, poor referee. Yeah, poor referee.
Yeah.
And then the main event was the War Chamber match.
Okay.
What just overall, thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down for that match.
I give it a thumbs up. It's
Okay.
a little long, but for how many people come out and what it was, that's what I expected.
All right, what we thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down on the order that they came out.
No, that was weird.
It was very. Thank you.
Me and Daryl was sitting there. I'm calling like what I think will be next, and wasn't even coming close.
Like, if they ever wanted it to be like, oh, this is predetermined, that was the way to put it out there.
Bruh,
'Cause
'cause I didn't come close.
I did not come close either. I had it laid out in my head how the people would
I
come
did
out,
too. Yep.
and it did not happen any way that I
No,
thought.
it did start the way I thought. Well, with one person because it didn't with the other. But I thought it would be a Von Erich first.
Yeah.
And I really did think it would be a Von Erich last.
Yeah, I did
So,
not.
I did.
So,
So. I got the first and the last on one team, but like the bad guy team, I didn't get none of that right.
like, I really thought the last baby face out would have been low key to come in and save the day.
I did.
I really thought that the smaller Von Erich was going to be second. I thought that maybe Tom Lawler would have been first. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't expect the champion to come in like third. I thought he would be the last
I thought
guy.
he'd be dead last.
Yeah. But yeah, it was definitely weird on how the order of entrance was. But once they got in, I'm like, okay, Ross Von Erich is gonna come in. He's the smallest guy in. They're already putting over that he's got the flu. What do? He come in, just starts big booting everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm like,
Clean
well,
house,
whatever,
too.
man. So-
Well, I wish they would never said nothing about that because it didn't come into play at any point whatsoever.
right. So they try to build it up that he had the flu or pneumonia or
He's like, I took some NyQuil. I'll show y'all.
he was energized and ready.
Well, not a Dayquil, my
So,
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it did not it didn't make any sense to put that out there. Like, he never was like the vulnerable guy or anything. Like,
Matter of fact, he probably took the least heat in the whole
yeah.
match.
So, but overall, I think it was a solid performance.
Yeah. For a cage match was
Where's that much?
one ring.
Right.
I was telling Daryl
It
I
did
said,
seem
you
super
know,
crowded there
what was
for
it, 8 people.
Yeah.
You know, and
9 counting referee.
WC, yeah, and there was a camera guy in there
Oh,
too.
was it?
Yes, I even told Daryl, I'm like, this damn cameraman's gonna get killed.
I don't guess I even noticed he was
Yeah,
in
I
there.
swear he was in the ring, man. I'm like, oh my god. But WCW it was always 2 rings,
Yeah,
and I think even MLW did it at 2 rings one time.
probably.
Yeah, it's been a long time ago, but I'm not gonna promise that. But 2 rings damn sure would have made a big difference.
It was definitely small, so.
But
But I mean, it was good. There was a lot of action, and Overall, I thought it was a solid performance.
Did the person take the pin was who you expected?
I don't remember who took the pin.
I think it was Samael.
Samael, yeah. He would have been the guy I would have picked.
And he was bleeding. He's the only person
Yep.
bleeding in the whole match.
Right.
I told Daryl, I was like, it's kind of not right. I was like, you want sympathy off the good guy, not the bad guy. And he was bleeding like a stuck pig, too.
Yeah. I've noticed, like, I watched that, and then I watched Reality of Wrestling. One of our viewers suggested we watch it, and I checked out an episode,
Okay.
and it was really weird how that was their main event and big, like, blow-off thing was, so... But yeah,
me completely lost.
I'll catch you up. I'll catch you up to date. But yeah, overall, MLW. Thumbs
I
up.
loved it.
Yep.
I could have done that the squash match. I thought that was pointless.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it was just to reintroduce Leo Bryan. Like he was
one of the worst squash matches.
He
I've
was a
ever
dirty
seen.
blonde, and I think they're bringing him back by himself. And now he's a bounty hunting Barry Windham kind of.
That's what I thought. I was like, this is the guy be Barry Windham's son.
Yeah.
God, look just like him.
So yeah, it's got that kind of throwback feel to it, but overall it was good. But yeah, I watched Reality of Wrestling. It was the newest episode. I guess they're a month old when they put them out. Okay. I guess. So it's back from August 9th, and it was a strong showing. Like just in general, the show. The main event was their champion, Ruthless Ryan Davis, versus the Mysterious Q, and I've seen Q a lot.
I've seen Q a few times.
But it was a 2 out of 3 falls, and the first fall was probably the sickest bump that you didn't necessarily see. It was well done. They did like an up and over spot where he gets thrown out onto the apron, but instead he basically does like a split leg moonsault on the railing, like on the turnbuckle, and bump down to the floor to sell his knee. And so they're like, just take the count out, like blah blah blah. They're putting it over real big. The guy goes, grabs him, throws him back in, boom, 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 beats him. And I'm like, okay, so he's going to work the leg. Guess what he didn't work?
The leg.
The leg. The heel did not work the leg. But at that, right after that, the announcer started building the heel up like he was the baby face, talking about how he's doing it for his dad or his grandpa, and his grandpa was a World War II, like, hero, and he's 92 years old, and all that. So they're building him up like he's a big baby face, which made no sense. But then he started hulking up and stuff like a baby face, so made no sense. But Q, as mysterious as he is, I think he's kin to Wolverine, because once that first fall ended, you know what never gave him any more problems?
Knee.
The knee.
Sounds like a lot of wrestling on that.
The heel didn't work the injury.
Yep.
And the babyface never sold it again. I mean, super kicks, springboards, not springboard land, ow, my knee. Nope, never even grabbed it again. So definitely kin to Wolverine. That's what makes him mysterious. But it was crazy. And it was cool because they had a group of their students sitting ringside. Like, these are future Reality of Wrestling students, blah, blah, blah. Guess who picks a fight with them?
Teacher.
The babyface.
The babyface.
Mysterious Q picks a fight with him for no apparent reason. Like he walked the guardrail like old school style, and he was like moving. They all backed up, and so for that he came over, was pointing his finger in their face and stuff, and like swinging on them. And one guy threw a drink in his face, and so he snatched him over, started stomping a mud hole in him, and his buddies jumped the guardrail to help him, the other students. And that was the third fall. Mysterious Q had beat Brian Davison in there with a springboard super cutter thingy. But like the babyface then goes and picks a fight with the ringside fans for no apparent reason, beats one of them up, and then they're going, these renegades. I'm like, these renegades are helping their buddy getting attacked. Like, how the hell are they renegades? So
I always stand back and watch you get your ass kicked if 3 people are kicking the shit out of you.
So I mean, solid athletic match. Didn't make a lot of sense, but super. If you want to be like, hey, these guys are working their butts off, go watch it. It's the August 9th Reality of Wrestling. So it was crazy, but that was the main event. Wow. But there was a really good tag team match. It was like High Def or Fly Def or something like that. They're tag team champions, and they were facing the Legion, which is Gregory James but he goes by, I guess, Isaiah James now. I think he changed his name.
Okay.
And on there, he may be Isaiah January. I'm not sure. They kept calling Isaiah, then they would call January, then they called the tag partner somebody else. So I don't know if his tag partner had two names, if he used to be called January and now he's called something else.
I don't know.
A really good match. I enjoyed the whole match except at the end when the guy that may be January turned on Isaiah James and left him in there. So I don't like. It was all good up to that point, but I'm not caught up with their storylines and stuff, so I don't know what was going on.
You got me
and then the
confused
opening
as hell.
match was their women's division. It's their Diamonds division.
Diamonds.
And it was like Jenna somebody versus Roxy. And it wasn't bad for a women's match. Especially like two young people, young females, young ladies, young women early in their careers or whatever.
Okay.
It was solid. So overall the show was great. Like I say, the main event stuff just didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, really well done injury that never got exploited or sold, other than the fact that that's what caused the first pinfall.
Well, that's what kills it for me.
A beautiful, like, springboard, like, assisted ace crusher. It was beautiful. Like, phenomenal. Like, best. I was like, oh, crap, that's awesome. Like, it was so well done. But again, never sold the knee. I mean, this injury was so bad, they were contemplating, like, maybe he couldn't even get back to the ring, period. Like,
then
just
he's
take the
running
count
laps,
out. So, yeah, and then he's like, okay, I got beat. Next match, And then the third fall.
Summing my new body
Yeah.
here.
the third fall for that match wasn't even a fall. Basically, Q won by DQ, but the champion kept his belt. But it was because the babyface beat up ringside fans for getting out of the way. You know what I mean? And the ringside fans are the bad guys now. I didn't get it.
I don't think reality of wrestling's really gonna like your opinion. I can't say nothing because I didn't watch it. But I'm confused as hell with what you're telling me.
It was what it was, man. I mean,
you can only call what you see.
Right, and I mean, from a wrestling fan trying to go, oh, I know what's going to happen next, none of it happened next. I mean, like I say, the kudos because the way the bump did, you didn't necessarily see the bump because like he landed on a cameraman, so it was like a lot of shaking, but you got like you could put things together to know what happened, and then he's like straight to the knees, like screaming, oh, my knee, my knee, my knee. And the commentator's going, Davis should just let him, get the count out. That way he gets the victory, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know if he can get back in the ring. Q, don't worry about winning. Just, you don't want to face physical injury. What does he do? Nip up, freaking super kicks, springboards, all that shit. So I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, so, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just too big of a 1970s wrestling. But
I'm sorry. I was watching wrestling that made sense.
Yeah, it didn't. But if you just want to see some cool stuff, there was a lot of good in that match. Just the overall psychology behind it made no sense. I'm like, you got this big bad heel who's like the end boss. He's the guy you meet at the end of the video game. Like, he's ruthless. If he sees a weakness, he's going to exploit it. He blew his knee out. Well, avoid that. Like it's the plague, So very crazy. But I did check out Reality of Wrestling. I do want to watch more, so hopefully my opinion changes. My opinion now is like they have phenomenal talent. Like
but
these guys,
confusing storyline.
but a confusing storyline. Yep.
Sweet.
So
I'll tell you what, I watched you yesterday, matter of fact. I was at work and we got to talking about the Blue Bloods.
okay.
And do you remember how the Blue Bloods were formed at all?
If I remember, like William Regal was trying to find a partner,
Yep.
and
He kept turning down Bobby, right?
kept turning down Bobby, and so finally, like,
They have a match.
yeah, and Bobby beats him or
No,
something.
he didn't beat him. He just was beating the shit out of him.
And he was like, you know
gets-
what, you can be my partner. And then he comes back and he's like, I discovered that he has royal blood or something
And
like
it's
that.
like a little 5-minute match, but I swear, like, it was a great match. William Regal took the backdrop and all this other stuff for him, and I was just like, man, that was a hell of a way to start it. And then they had the little vignettes where they put all the clothes on him.
Yeah.
And he'd be go, I don't know what I was thinking all these years. I am really Robert instead of Bobby.
Yeah, Earl of Eaton.
Yes. So I was like, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was cool, and that was funny watching a guy from Alabama become this Mr.
Yeah,
Proper.
royalty.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
I really enjoyed the Blue Bloods
I
tag
did
team.
too. And there's
like,
a lot of their stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
There really is.
So definitely, hey, check out the Blue Bloods. Like if you want to get
no kidding.
like and go back watch from the beginning. Watch how they Bobby's trying to become his partner, and then how it got set up
One
and
of my
everything.
favorite spots in wrestling.
Pushes the muscle up. But yeah,
Yes.
so the Blue
Steven
Bloods
Regal
were really
was
cool,
awesome,
man.
dude. I don't care what anybody says. Steven or William, whichever one you
Yeah.
want to call it.
Now, was the Blue Bloods created after Jean-Paul Levesque left WCW?
I was talking to my friend at work about that, and I'm not sure. I want to say it was after.
Yeah, I think that's why he didn't have a partner.
Yeah, and I think, and because Triple H was actually told by him to leave and go to WWE. He's like, it's more opportunity there. So I always think about that. I'm like, wow, if William Regal hadn't told him to haul ass to WWE, where would you be at now, you know?
Well, it makes you think that maybe why Regal always has a place there.
That's true.
Like, my friend gave me real advice, and now I'm going to help him, too. So,
and it really did. I mean, look where he is now.
But, yeah, so, like, WCW was like, well, we done bought this jacket. Somebody's got to wear it, huh?
Hey, Bobby, what size are you? But I mean, in all honesty, you got a lot of good matches out of it, and you got Triple H out of it.
And it's crazy. Like some of their better things WCW has, especially with the tag team division, seems to be based out of we don't know what to do with them guys.
Start people together.
Because you had them, you had the Hollywood Blondes. Like I was a big fan of Marcus Bagwell and Scorpio.
Yep.
And it was just random guys that were put together. Well, we don't know what to do with them, so we just put them together. So.
Yep.
Yep, that's very funny. So the next time somebody wants to randomly pair you up in a tag team, it may be a blessing.
Hey, sometimes you don't know what'll happen.
So it may be a blessing.
Yes.
And Bobby being such a tag team specialist. Anyway, I mean,
and he was kind of lost in the shuffle at that point.
Then the Dangerous Alliance, and I mean, he had so much stuff that he could bring to the table. Maybe he wasn't the best promo guy, maybe he didn't look the best. But I mean, he definitely was, the workhorse of a group, of a team, or whatever. So
that's what I was telling Bill at work about. I said, if I met him, I probably wouldn't ask him about the Midnight Express. I'd probably ask him about the Blue Blood stuff.
Really?
Just to me, because it was more entertaining.
Yeah, and it probably tickled
and
him
it
anyway.
was so far off left field compared to what he's always done.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It was definitely different for sure. I mean, it was almost like when. They had Foley get amnesia or whatever and be the sea captain or whatever.
But to me, it just proved that he could do a lot more than the Midnight Express. Yep. So I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, he was definitely a well-rounded guy.
But good wrestling.
Who else can you think of that was kind of like that? Like you could put them in any position. Like maybe they wasn't top guys, but if you put them somewhere, they could make do. Regal is another guy. Like anything you put him with, he could do it.
Honestly, I would say Brian Pillman.
Yeah,
because Brian was a singles and he was a tag multiple times over. And I kind of think that way about his son right now because I think he's really decent as a tag and really decent as a singles.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely young in his career and he's only got up to go.
Yeah,
so.
There's no unless he just destroys something, he's got nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, Brian Pillman Jr. is a guy I'd really like to get over here to us for an event, at least one event. And I've talked to him a couple times, and just if I had the opportunity to do it, he didn't have the date available. So hopefully, those stars will align eventually, and we can get him. Definitely several guys I'd love to see at Ego.
And I'd have to say John Davis, because John's been a very good singles guy, but he was also a very good tag guy.
Yeah. And he's good as a baby face, a heel, in the middle, the main event, opening the curtain. It doesn't matter. John can do it all. So I definitely agree with that. I think Billy Gunn's another guy. He can.
Billy was just always a better tag guy.
Yeah.
He never was really that great of a singer.
I think, some people are just more comfortable here. Yeah. But I mean, even as a singles, when it was him and Tori Wilson together, whatever, it wasn't bad stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of dumb. Oh, he's the one and all this stuff. It wasn't really good stuff.
Rockabilly.
But yeah, I love rockabilly. I don't care what anybody says. I'm a rockabilly
I stole
fan.
that gimmick off a cartoon. Let me be your rooster.
Rockadoodle.
That's literally where they took it from. Hey, come on, man.
I mean, I like rockabilly, so I can't
You're
say
a
nothing.
weirdo, though.
I mean, I like those characters that I like characters. I guess I don't know.
You'd have a double Doink the Clown contest if you could.
Yes,
You want a Doink Battle Royal, for
I
God's
do.
sake.
They're all dying off though.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Get Ink Dink and Insano the Clown from New Japan or wherever.
Man, like I really want to like get a Doink the Clown costume and be son of Doink. Like everybody's like, I'm Doink from WWE. Well, you'd be in a walker. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to be his kid. Like El Hijo de Doink sounds so good.
My mama was El Hijo del Rat.
She had a thing for wrestlers and clowns,
There you go.
and it was the perfect combination. so yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, let us know if you want to see El Hijo de Doink, because I think that'd be phenomenal.
What is the one in Mexico? He has the tongue. And
Like
Cody,
Psycho
and
Clown
like
or
Cody had to
something.
just apologize to
Yeah.
the LGBTQXYZ community
Yeah.
for saying something in Mexican that he didn't know what the hell it meant.
So remember, kids, don't repeat what you don't know.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
good lesson, because it may offend someone.
I offend people every day.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I
Even people you know that you don't realize you know them.
Oh well, don't talk stupid.
I was trying to be funny. You're like, I don't give a crap what you're trying to be. Go away and die. I'm like, wow.
Wasn't me.
Way to go, madman.
Well, called Madman. I ain't called Happy the Clown.
So, let us know who you think is that guy that could be in any position, whether he's a main event or, curtain jerking or tag team or, who else could fit that kind of Bobby Eaton role that, let us know in the comments, because I'd like to go watch some matches that you guys suggest. So,
And you got to go watch Sterling sing.
yeah.
You haven't seen
I have
it
to watch
yet.
Sterling sing. I heard he's a bit of a,
I'm not sure if it's him singing, but I think it's a room full of people in the ring. He may be singing with them, but I'm not positive.
well, I hear he's got a voice very similar to Frank Sinatra, so I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
So, later, guys. September 21st. That's this Saturday night, Richland, Mississippi, Richland Retribution. Big event coming up, so be sure to be there. November the 2nd, we make our way to Eupora, Mississippi, to the elementary school. Big night of action there.
Google Maps.
Yeah, and then November 9th, we return to Meridian, and big match there. So we'll be announcing some matches going to happen over the next couple weeks. But until next time,
Watch wrestling.
watch wrestling.